Lyra Kane stepped carefully across the dusty floor of the alien ruin. The sun had long set behind the jagged mountains, leaving the sky a deep violet streaked with stars. Her boots crunched on the stone, echoing in the empty corridors of the long-abandoned city. She had spent years exploring dead worlds, but this one was different. The towers and spires were taller than anything she had seen, and strange symbols covered every wall, glowing faintly as if holding a secret. The Codex had been her goal ever since her team first found the ruins. It was said to hold knowledge from an alien civilization that had vanished thousands of years ago. Many had tried to find it before, but none had returned. Lyra had followed every clue, every fragment of old maps to this place. And now, standing in the center of the largest tower, she saw it. The Codex floated in the middle of a circular chamber. It was no larger than a human torso, but its presence was massive. The surface shimmered like liquid metal, constantly changing shape. Symbols moved across it, not random but like words forming and reforming in patterns she almost understood. Her heart beat faster. Humans had found many alien artifacts, but nothing like this. This was alive. It was aware. Lyra raised her hand, unsure if she should touch it. Her fingers hovered above the surface. The moment she made contact, the Codex pulsed with energy. The symbols glowed brighter, and a warm vibration ran through her hand and up her arm. She stepped back, startled, but the Codex did not move away. Instead, it seemed to lean toward her. Then came the voice, soft, melodic, and unlike anything human. "Welcome back, Founder." Lyra froze. She had expected lights, holograms, maybe some form of sound. But words? Words that recognized her? She looked around, but the chamber was empty. Just her and the Codex. Who are you?" she whispered. The Codex did not answer directly. Instead, it projected a holographic image above it. The hologram showed a city, vast and shining, built with impossible architecture. Towers spiraled into the clouds, connected by bridges that curved through the sky. Ships with sleek, glowing hulls soared above the streets. Alien figures walked the platforms, their faces and forms strange but graceful. Lyra stepped closer, her eyes wide. She had seen depictions of alien civilizations, but nothing so vivid. As she watched, the hologram shifted. The city became a fleet of ships traveling through space faster than light. Stars stretched and bent as the ships moved, and Lyra felt a strange pull in her chest as if she remembered being there. She stumbled back. Memories? They were not hers, but they felt like hers. She saw herself standing on a command deck, giving orders, leading the alien race with authority and confidence. Her hands gripped a railing that did not exist in reality, but the feeling of power and purpose was real. The Codex pulsed again. "You are the Founder," it said. "You have returned to guide them once more." Lyra shook her head, trying to clear the strange images. This is impossible. I'm human. I'm from Earth. I can't be," she trailed off. The Codex did not reply, but the images continued. Planets formed and shattered, civilizations rose and fell, and through it all, a figure moved with purpose. That figure was her, or someone who looked exactly like her. She sank to her knees, overwhelmed. For a long moment she did nothing but watch. Her mind raced. How could this be? Could humans have been part of this alien civilization? Could she herself have been part of it? And if so, why was she here now, centuries later? The Codex pulsed once more, and a new set of symbols appeared, floating in the air like glowing butterflies. Lyra reached out to touch them, and instantly she understood the patterns. They were instructions, a guide to operating the Codex. It was not just a book or a record. It was a tool, a key to knowledge and technology humans had never dreamed of. Her pulse quickened. With this, she could learn things that would change humanity forever. But along with excitement came fear. She had read stories of humans who discovered alien technology and went mad, or worse. What if this Codex was dangerous? What if it demanded something she could not give? And yet, something inside her urged her forward. She felt at home. Safe in a strange way. The Codex had recognized her, and for some reason she trusted it. Lyra took a deep breath and touched the Codex again. The symbols moved faster, swirling around her hand. The hologram expanded, filling the entire chamber. She could see planets, stars, ships, and alien cities all at once. The Codex was showing her everything, and yet it was only the beginning. "Are you ready?" the voice asked, calm and knowing. Lyra hesitated, then nodded. She did not fully understand what she was agreeing to, but something deep inside told her that this moment had been waiting for her entire life. She was not just an explorer. She was more. She was the Founder. The chamber trembled slightly as the Codex pulsed in response to her acceptance. Light washed over her, and for a moment the world seemed to dissolve. When her vision cleared, the chamber looked the same, but everything had changed. She knew the path ahead would be dangerous, filled with unknowns, but she also knew she could face it. The Codex had chosen her, and she would not turn away. Outside the chamber, the alien city lay silent and waiting. But somewhere in the stars, something had awakened. And it was watching Lyra Kane, the human who had become the founder, ready to begin a journey that would change the fate of humanity forever. Lyra stepped out of the Codex chamber, her mind buzzing with questions. The walls of the ruin seemed taller now, as if the city itself was alive and watching her. The air smelled faintly metallic, but it was not unpleasant. Something about this place felt like it belonged to her, though she had never been here before. The Codex floated beside her, glowing softly as if it were guiding her forward. She walked carefully through the streets of the abandoned city. Broken towers loomed above, their spires cracked but still strong. Alien symbols lined the walls, pulsing faintly in rhythm with the Codex. Every step she took echoed, but she was not alone. The Codex's energy seemed to extend around her, sensing her movements, reacting to her thoughts. It was as if the city itself had remembered her. As she moved deeper, the Codex projected images again. Holograms of alien ships rose into the sky, leaving trails of light as they accelerated faster than human ships could ever move. Lyra reached out instinctively, trying to touch them, but her hand passed through the projections. Yet the images were clear, almost real. She could feel the hum of energy from the engines, the vibration of advanced technology, even the presence of beings on board the ships. She shivered. Humans had explored planets and asteroids, but nothing like this. The Codex spoke softly. You are the founder. Your return was always written. Lyra swallowed hard. Written where? By whom? I am human. I am just me. The Codex did not answer in words. Instead, it projected a new hologram. This one showed a council of tall alien figures, their bodies elegant and shimmering. They were discussing maps of stars, pointing to planets and fleets. And then, in the center, stood a figure that looked exactly like Lyra. She gasped. The figure's posture was confident, commanding, every movement precise. It was her, yet it was not. It was an older version, or perhaps another self entirely. Images flashed in her mind. Ships racing through nebulae, planets with cities of glass and metal, and Lyra at the helm of massive starships. Each memory felt real, though she had never lived them. She could feel the weight of responsibility in her chest, the decisions of a leader who had shaped civilizations. It was overwhelming, but she could not look away. The Codex pulsed, and she felt a warmth spreading through her body. You have returned, it said again. The knowledge is yours. The path is yours. Lyra sank to the ground. She had spent her life exploring worlds, searching for answers, but nothing had prepared her for this. She was human, yes, but somehow she was connected to this alien civilization. And now, all their knowledge, all their technology, all their power was opening before her. She forced herself to stand. If she let fear control her, she would waste this chance. The Codex was not just a relic, it was a key, and she had been chosen to use it. Her fingers brushed the surface, and the symbols moved faster, responding to her touch. She felt understanding forming in her mind. She could read the patterns. They were instructions, guides to operate the Codex and access alien technology. Ships, weapons, cities, energy systems. Everything humans had ever imagined in science fiction was here, waiting for her. She realized the Codex could teach her to rebuild this civilization, or even guide humanity to new heights. But along with excitement came a deep fear. What if she failed? What if she misused this power? The Codex seemed to sense her doubt. A soft voice echoed, "The path will not be easy. The choice is yours. Lead with wisdom, or the consequences will be yours to bear." Lyra nodded slowly. She understood. She could give humanity the tools to reach the stars, to explore, to defend themselves, but she had to be careful. The alien civilization had fallen once, and she had seen glimpses of why. Pride, greed, and overreach had destroyed them. She would not repeat their mistakes. She walked to a raised platform in the center of the city, her eyes scanning the ruins. The Codex floated before her, projecting more images. Ships in formation, fleets moving across star systems, and planets filled with life. It was more than knowledge, it was a warning, a lesson, and an opportunity all at once. Lyra placed her hands on the Codex and closed her eyes. The symbols swirled faster, and energy flowed through her. She felt her mind expand, understanding more with every pulse. Alien technology, faster-than-light engines, energy shields, communication systems beyond imagination. All of it was being revealed to her. She could feel the responsibility pressing down heavy and real. The Codex spoke one final time. The galaxy waits. The choice is made. The founder has returned. Lyra opened her eyes, determination replacing fear. She was no longer just an explorer. She was a guide, a leader, a bridge between humanity and the ancient alien civilization. The Codex had chosen her, and now it was time for her to choose humanity's path. As she looked across the silent city, Lyra felt a strange sense of peace. The stars outside shimmered, and she knew the journey ahead would be long and dangerous. But she also knew she was ready. The Codex had awakened something in her, something beyond human understanding. And with it, humanity would step into a new era. She took a deep breath and whispered to herself, "I will not fail. I will lead. I will learn." The Codex glowed brighter, acknowledging her words. Light spread through the city, illuminating the ruins in colors she had never seen before. It was alive, and now so was she, not just human, not just explorer, but the founder. Lyra sat on the edge of a broken platform, the Codex hovering in front of her. The light from its symbols danced across her face, revealing both awe and confusion. Her mind was still racing from the images and memories the Codex had shown her. Ships moving faster than light, alien cities glittering under foreign suns, and a life she had never lived, but somehow felt familiar. She touched the Codex again and the symbols rearranged themselves. This time they formed patterns that she could understand more clearly. Words and images combined into something she recognized as a map, not of stars she knew but of the entire galaxy, with points marking cities, fleets, and systems. As she traced them with her fingers, flashes of memories hit her like lightning. She saw herself standing among alien leaders, speaking with authority, making decisions that affected billions. Lyra gasped. She had never commanded anyone, never led a civilization. And yet, these visions were vivid, real. Her hands trembled as she felt the weight of the knowledge pressing on her. The Codex pulsed softly as if sensing her fear. "These are your memories," it said, the voice calm but insistent. "Your life did not begin with humanity. You have returned to complete what was started." She shook her head, trying to deny it. This can't be real. I am human. I was born on Earth. I have parents, a life. This is impossible." The Codex projected a new image. She saw a council chamber filled with beings she could not name, yet they felt familiar. They were discussing the fate of civilizations, pointing to planets and star systems. And there she was, standing among them, tall and confident, giving orders with precision. Every gesture, every word, every thought in that vision felt as though it had been hers. Lyra's knees went weak. "Why me?" she whispered. "Why now?" The Codex did not answer in words. Instead, it showed the rise and fall of a civilization older than humanity. Entire worlds had been built, powered by knowledge far beyond human technology. And yet, all had fallen, destroyed by their own pride and miscalculations. She could feel the echoes of their mistakes, the consequences of choices made long before she had existed. And then came a revelation she could not ignore. The alien civilization had been connected to humanity all along. Their technology, their knowledge, their cities, all had influenced the evolution of human beings in subtle ways. Humans had risen in part because of remnants of this alien race's wisdom. And now, the Codex suggested, it was her turn to guide them once more. She felt a strange connection to the stars around her. Each flickering light, each distant planet, seemed to whisper to her. She could feel their potential, their energy waiting to be awakened. The Codex had shown her that she was more than human, but it also showed her that humans could achieve greatness if guided carefully. Lyra stood, her resolve hardening. She could not deny the visions any longer. These memories, these glimpses of a past life, or another life, were hers. She was the founder. And the galaxy, with all its wonders and dangers, depended on her choices. The Codex pulsed again, projecting a ship unlike any human vessel. Its hull was smooth, reflecting starlight, and its engines glowed with energy that defied explanation. Symbols scrolled along its surface, showing functions, weapons, and navigation systems. Lyra reached out, and the Codex allowed her to manipulate the ship. Instructions filled her mind, teaching her how to control it with precision. She realized that with this, she could explore the galaxy, protect humanity, or even prevent the mistakes of the past from repeating. But fear still lingered. Could she handle such power? Could one human, or even one being who had lived as an alien, guide an entire species safely? Lyra felt the weight of responsibility pressing on her chest. Every decision she made now could alter the future of countless worlds. The Codex seemed to sense her doubt. "You have returned to guide them," it said. Your knowledge is theirs to inherit. Lead wisely. Fail not. Lyra closed her eyes and took a deep breath. She could feel the memories merging with her own thoughts, blending past and present. The visions showed her what could happen if she failed. Civilizations destroyed, stars left empty, and life snuffed out across countless worlds. But they also showed her hope. Civilizations thriving under wise guidance, humans reaching for the stars and worlds protected from harm. She opened her eyes, determination replacing fear. She was no longer just an explorer, no longer just a human. She was the founder. And the Codex was her tool, her guide, and her responsibility. Lyra touched the symbols once more. They flowed into her mind and she felt understanding deepen. The Codex was not just showing her history, it was teaching her how to shape the future. Ships, cities, energy, communication, strategy, all of it could be learned. And she would learn it. She would master it. The chamber around her seemed to glow brighter, responding to her resolve. Outside, the ruins of the alien city remained silent, but Lyra could feel them listening. The stars above twinkled as if approving her awakening. She was no longer alone. She had knowledge, power, and purpose. And the galaxy, full of wonders and dangers, waited for her. For the first time in her life, Lyra felt truly connected, not just to humanity but to the stars, to the alien civilization, and to the role she had been destined to play. The Codex had awakened something inside her, a memory, a power, and a responsibility she could not ignore. She whispered softly to herself, more a promise than a thought, I will learn. I will guide. I will protect. The Codex pulsed warmly, acknowledging her words. Light spread through the ruins and for a moment, Lyra felt as if the entire galaxy was watching her. The revelations had been overwhelming, but they had also given her purpose. She was the founder and now she would awaken humanity to a future beyond their wildest dreams. Lyra walked slowly through the silent streets of the alien city, the Codex floating beside her. The ruins glowed faintly under the starlight, the symbols on the walls pulsing softly, like they were alive. Every step she took made her feel the weight of responsibility pressing down on her. She had seen the past, glimpsed the memories of the alien civilization and understood her role. But now came the hardest part, the choice. The Codex projected a vast hologram above her, showing not just the alien civilization but humanity as well. She saw ships and cities, planets with people working, exploring and building. But she also saw the dangers. The same mistakes that had destroyed the aliens could happen again. Greed, pride, hunger for power. The hologram shifted, showing battles, worlds in ruin and civilizations collapsing under their own ambition. Lyra swallowed hard. The galaxy was full of wonders but it was also fragile. You have the power to guide them, the Codex said softly. What will you choose? Lyra paused. She could give humanity the tools to explore the stars, to reach heights no one had ever imagined. She could teach them the secrets of alien technology, faster-than-light travel, energy shields, and weapon systems that could defend or destroy entire worlds. But she knew the risks. Power without wisdom could destroy them all. She thought of Earth, her home. A small blue planet filled with humans who dreamed of space, of adventure, of discovery. They were clever, resilient, and brave. But they were also young, prone to mistakes, and easily tempted by power. She could not allow them to repeat the failures of the aliens. She could not let history destroy what little humanity had built. Lyra sat down on a broken stone ledge, placing her hands on the Codex. It pulsed in response as if waiting for her to decide. She closed her eyes and took a deep breath. She imagined the future, humans exploring peacefully, learning from the Codex, building new cities among the stars. She imagined humans conquering greed and fear, becoming explorers and protectors rather than conquerors. And then she imagined failure, the same arrogance that had destroyed the alien civilization spreading across human worlds, tearing apart everything she had come to love. The choice was clear but it was not easy. She could give humanity absolute power, knowing they might misuse it. Or she could guide them carefully, step by step, teaching them how to handle it wisely. Every decision would matter. Every moment could change the future. Lyra opened her eyes, determination shining in them. I will guide them, she said softly. I will teach them, protect them, and help them grow. But I will not let them fall because of my mistakes. The Codex pulsed brightly, filling the chamber with light. The symbols moved rapidly, projecting images of ships, cities, and technology. It was showing her everything she needed to teach humanity, how to use energy without destroying planets, how to travel between stars safely, how to communicate across galaxies, and how to protect life rather than harm it. Lyra studied it all, absorbing the knowledge and committing herself to her choice. But the Codex also warned her. This path is not without danger. Others will seek to take power. Others will wish to misuse what you share. You must remain vigilant. Your choices will define the future of humanity. Lyra nodded. She understood. Leadership was not just about knowledge, it was about responsibility, courage, and sacrifice. She would have to make difficult decisions, stand against those who wanted to misuse the technology, and guide humanity through challenges they could not yet imagine. But she was ready. She had accepted the memories of her past life as the founder. She had accepted the power of the Codex. And she had accepted the responsibility that came with it. The ruins around her seemed to respond to her resolve. Towers glowed brighter, and the air hummed with energy. Ships projected from the Codex began to rise, showing her the potential of humanity if they followed her guidance. It was a vision of hope, a promise of what could be achieved. But it was also a warning, a reminder that power without wisdom could destroy everything. Lyra took a deep breath and looked up at the stars. The galaxy stretched before her, vast, full of life and full of danger. She could feel the energy of the Codex connecting her to it all. She was not alone. She had the knowledge, the memories, and the determination to guide humanity forward. But the path would be difficult. She would face opposition, fear, and doubt. And yet, she knew she could succeed. I choose this path, she said firmly. I will guide humanity. I will protect them. I will teach them to explore, to learn, and to grow without falling to the mistakes of the past. The Codex pulsed one final time, a bright and steady light filling the ruins. The air vibrated with energy, and Lyra could feel the potential of countless worlds waiting for her guidance. She was the founder, and now she had made her choice. For the first time, Lyra felt a deep sense of purpose. She knew the journey ahead would be long and difficult, but it would also be filled with discovery, wonder, and hope. The galaxy was watching, waiting for her to lead humanity into a new era. And she was ready. The stars shimmered and the Codex glowed beside her. The choice had been made, and the future was hers to shape. Humanity would rise, guided by her hand, and the galaxy would never be the same again. Lyra stood tall, her eyes shining with determination. She placed her hand on the Codex, feeling its power flow into her. She was the founder. She had made her choice. And now it was time to begin. Lyra stepped into the central plaza of the alien city. The ruins stretched before her, vast and silent, but now they seemed to pulse with energy. The Codex hovered beside her, glowing with a soft, steady light. Towers and broken spires began to shimmer as if waking from a long sleep. The alien city was coming alive again, and with it, humanity's future. The Codex projected ships rising from the ground. Their sleek hulls reflected the starlight, and energy flowed along their surfaces like liquid fire. Lyra watched in awe as they lifted into the sky, moving with precision and speed far beyond human engineering. These ships were not just tools. They were lessons, proof of what humans could achieve if guided wisely. She felt a surge of hope and pride. This was more than discovery, it was creation, revival, and guidance all at once. Humans from her team emerged cautiously from the transport ships they had used to land. They froze at the sight. Ships of alien design, glowing and humming with power, rose above them. Lyra could see fear and wonder in their eyes, but also curiosity. She raised her hand and the Codex pulsed, projecting images of the alien technology. Humans watched as instructions appeared, guiding them to understand and operate the ships, the energy systems, and even the cities themselves. Lyra felt a strange connection to the Codex and to the humans watching her. She was the founder, yes, but she was also a bridge between two civilizations. The Codex had awakened knowledge inside her, and now she could awaken potential in humanity. She could teach them not just to explore but to protect, to learn, and to grow without repeating the mistakes of the past. The Codex projected a new hologram showing the galaxy with stars, planets, and civilizations waiting. Some were thriving, others had fallen long ago. Lyra saw paths humans could take, paths of exploration, discovery, and enlightenment, but also paths of greed, destruction, and failure. The choice had been made, she realized. She had chosen to guide humanity, to lead them safely through the challenges ahead. And now it was time to act. She activated the Codex fully. Light spread across the city, and the ruins transformed before her eyes. Buildings repaired themselves, energy flowed through circuits that had been dormant for millennia, and alien machines hummed as they came back to life. Humans gasped at the sight. What had been thought dead for thousands of years was alive again, responsive to the touch of one human who had been chosen to lead. Lyra walked among them, demonstrating how to operate the ships and machinery. She spoke simply, clearly, teaching them to understand what they were seeing. The Codex responded to her guidance, making the alien technology accessible without overwhelming them. Step by step, humans began to learn, to explore, and to experiment under her careful watch. Outside the city, the stars seemed to shine brighter. Lyra could feel the galaxy itself acknowledging her presence, recognizing the return of the Founder. She knew the path ahead would not be easy. There would be challenges, rivalries, and dangers. But for the first time she saw hope. Humanity was ready to rise, and she would lead them. She paused on a high platform overlooking the city. Ships glided through the sky, energy flowed through restored towers, and humans worked with a mix of excitement and caution. The Codex pulsed beside her as if approving every action. Lyra felt a sense of peace. The knowledge she had gained, the choice she had made, and the guidance she would give, all of it was coming together. Humanity's journey among the stars had begun. A soft voice from the Codex echoed in her mind, "The Founder has returned. The galaxy awaits." Lyra smiled. She had returned, yes, but she had also started something new. The Codex had given her the knowledge of an ancient civilization, but she would shape its power to serve humanity, not control it. She would teach them to explore, to defend, and to grow wisely. As she looked across the city, she saw humans stepping into ships, exploring alien cities, and testing systems they had only dreamed of. Children looked up at the glowing towers with wonder, and scientists studied the Codex with curiosity. Lyra knew that with guidance, humanity could reach heights no one had imagined. She was not just a visitor in this alien world, she was a guide, a teacher, and a protector. The stars outside seemed to shimmer in approval. Lyra placed her hand on the Codex, feeling its energy flow through her. She was the Founder. She had made her choice, awakened the knowledge, and now she would lead humanity into a new era. The galaxy was vast, full of mysteries and dangers, but also full of wonder and potential. And for the first time she felt that humanity was ready. Lyra spoke softly, almost to herself, but also to the humans watching. "This is just the beginning. We will explore, we will learn, and we will grow. Together, we will rise among the stars." The Codex pulsed brightly, casting light across the restored city. Ships flew above, and humans moved with purpose, guided by knowledge older than their civilization. Lyra Kane, the Founder, stood at the center of it all, calm, determined, and ready. The galaxy had returned, humanity had awakened, and a new chapter had begun. And as the first human ships lifted off into the starlit sky, Lyra knew that the adventure of a lifetime was just beginning. She had returned, the Codex had spoken, and humanity would never be the same again.